Rock 108. Hey, it's Ned hanging out here in the States. We're obviously in the States because that's Iowa, Rock 108. It's what we do here. But it's so awesome when we have a band come from outside of the States, right in here, touring around the country, checking out radio areas, all the way from LA, all the way to Iowa, Minnesota, wherever these guys are heading out to next. And we played them on the 420 Music Meeting, did so awesome. And I'm just so happy to have them in the studio right now. I have Raven Age hanging out with me today. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, good, man. All right.
Good, man. It's, well, we were just off the air kind of talking about all sorts of stuff. One of them is that sugar.
Yeah.
Coming to the States and seeing everything just loaded with sugar, and you said you're kind of having a hard time adjusting to that, right?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's the best food in the world has sugar in it, you know.
Right, yeah.
You know, the food is amazing. We're loving it, but it's just, you know, going from sitting in a van all day, not getting as much exercise as we're used to. We're just having to kind of rein it in a little bit and keep a check on it as much as we can.
Absolutely, man. But it's cool to have you guys here, man. I mean, to kind of have you, I mean, like introducing to Rock 108 world. Who are you guys? Where are you from? And we already know what the sound is. It's kind of like, well, the way I like to describe it is kind of like this old school metal mixed with new school stuff, and combine that all together and you get the Raven Age.
That's awesome that you picked that up, because that's pretty much exactly what
awesome.
exactly what we're trying to do. So we are the Raven Age, and we're a London-based band, and we did a tour around America last year, and it's been kind of like a thing for us for a while. We really feel that we connect with the American audiences, and from the tour we did last year, we really got the same thing back, which is really nice. So we're just trying to keep that going, trying to build some momentum here in the States, and doing this little radio tour, as you mentioned, which has been awesome.
Yeah.
And we're also, the difference is this time we're getting to see everything from a van instead of a tour bus. So we're getting to see the country, and it's a real amazing thing and a bit of a bucket list tick off for quite a lot of us to see the country from this way. So
what's been your favorite part, kind of touring through the country? Like, what's the main thing you were just like, whoa, it's crazy?
It's really weird because we've been asked that, and there's been so many different things, and that's the most amazing thing, how you can go from beautiful white snowy peak mountains to like dry desert land in like a few hours sometimes. We did Death Valley, which was breathtaking. We did Mount Rushmore the other day, which was just equally as breathtaking.
Right,
so it's really hard to put it down in one, but there was one bit where we got, I think, where were we? The snowy part near, was it?
That's still in Wyoming.
What was it? There was some place. It was just.
Depends on what one you're talking about.
It was. Yeah, I know. It was the sunset one. Yeah. I think it was in Wyoming.
It was on our way to Spearfish, wasn't it?
Yeah, on our way, and it was just. It was more like. It was so much for the senses to take in.
Yeah.
Because it was so big, and so much stuff that it was just like, wow, that was a bit of a special moment. But it's all been great.
That's cool, man. I mean, it like you said, I remember taking a trip all the way from Michigan, which is like over there, and driving all the way from Michigan to Los Angeles at a LAX airport. And just, again, like you said, seeing all those things. And one of the most interesting parts, has anyone seen Back to the Future 3?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was driving through the Mojave Desert, and I mean, seeing all, like you said, Mount Rushmore, seeing all these beautiful sights. And I was driving through the desert, and all of a sudden I look to the right, and I see this movie theater.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's a drive-in movie theater, and it's like has the like Indians and stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute! It's the theater from Back to the Future 3. I'm like, yes! Mount Rushmore, whatever. Back to the Future 3.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
That's awesome.
They're like my favorite movies of all time.
Dude,
so,
right?
Yeah,
I mean, and it's such a classic. And I know Tom Holland, actually, the guy who plays Spider-Man recently, he's been in talks to like do like kind of a reboot. But he doesn't want to do it, he said. He doesn't want to do it because he's like, it's such a classic film. How can you try to perfect something that's already perfect?
I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I don't know. He'd be a good. I can see why they'd ask him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, you're not going to beat the original, but I could see why they would ask him to do that.
Well, they thought of Robert Downey Jr. as Doc.
Yeah, I've seen someone do the superimposed thing. It was actually kind of weird.
I know, right? It's like, this is, but with all these reboots and video games happening and movies, it's just
leave them as they are.
Right. Leave those ones alone, man. I mean, you can only try your best to do. But recently, I've been watching the new Planet of the Apes movies. I'm finally catching up on those. I'm like, why did I wait so long to watch these movies?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Am I talking to fellow movie lovers here? Am I just okay, cool.
We're in a band, you know, basically sitting around and watching movies before. It's just what you got to do, I think.
No, absolutely.
Stop from going crazy.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So, I mean, in that case, we already talked about Back to the Future. Like, let's go around the room. What's favorite movies going on? That's hard to point out, I know, but you can try.
I mean, mine quite easily is Back to the Future.
Oh, well, there you go. I see. I called it, man.
That's the first one, especially.
Oh, yeah.
But again, I mean, Lord of the Rings as well.
I was
is
going to
quite
say,
a
Lord
big
of the Rings.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite film.
Two Towers, even.
Yeah.
Really, man. All right, cool. I'm more of a Return of the King guy, but I'll go Two Towers.
I'm Return of the King.
Okay, there you go.
My favourite
awesome,
film, my favourite film's Top Gun.
Oh, well, classic, man. I mean, absolutely. Hide into the danger zone. That's the only way.
For me, it's probably got to be Terminator 2.
Oh,
That's classic. And all the action scenes and stuff, like the fact that it isn't CGI,
right.
and they use models is brilliant. You know,
I
don't
love
get that anymore.
the practical effects, man.
Yeah.
Practical effects, and especially in like old school horror films, how they did some of those things.
Yeah,
like throwing like, we threw this with syrup and whatnot. We threw it on the person. It's like, well, it looks real. It's just that sense of creativity, man, you know?
Like you, John.
I love Apocalypto. I think.
Oh,
I think
man.
That's a brutal film.
A lot of people
That's
miss
up
out
there
because
for
it's
me.
got subtitles and they hate subtitles. But
Subtitles are cool though, because you can kind of
just watch the film.
Yeah.
read the
I think
words.
that's
You're gonna
probably my
miss
top
out on
three
some
as well, I
incredible
reckon.
films.
Yep.
I am one of those people that has a problem with
Yeah.
subtitles.
Really?
For me, it's like, I want to watch a film, I don't want to read a book. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a very good point. I like that.
Seen it, yeah.
Films such as The Illusion. It's like the only time where I could have said it and I didn't. Oh, well.
So yeah, there's just, I mean, to go along with Terminator 2 though, man, there's people in this station that are just like, I think that movie sucks. I'm like, why? Why do you think that? I mean, the original, they love the original, but they're like, oh, it's such a dramatic story. I'm like, that's kind of the idea. That's kind of the fun part about it. I'm sorry, you're saying?
Is it your desk that we walked past in?
With all the crazy shit?
Yeah, we've got. I noticed the poster of Vigo that you got.
Yep. Yeah, man.
Ghostbusters,
He is Vigo, the scourge of Carpathia commands you. Command me, Lord. Again, Ghostbusters fan as well.
absolutely.
Oh my God, I can't get. I mean, everyone loves the first one. I mean, the first is an absolute classic, but 2 is that one that's just so different.
Yeah.
Come on.
But it's like, it's so cool. I love it because that was like the one I grew up with, man. You know, that's the one I felt.
Yeah.
I'm only 32 years old, but it's like those things that like I just connect with. And just a little background. I mean, are we all about the same age? Are we all in our mid 30s? You don't have to say.
Me and Em's are the oldest
I'm
of the group.
I'm 30. So
Okay,
the other
cool,
guys
all
are in
right.
their 20s.
20s.
So
So we're all that same age.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we grew up before, like around that same time as the internet was kind of coming a thing and whatnot. So I feel like we have a sense of appreciation for film and video games and entertainment before everyone was hashtagging and all that
Oh,
crazy
God,
shit, you
yeah.
know? So anyway, we've been sitting here. We could talk about movies all day. You're obviously a band, duh. So we have to play some music, man. So let's do that before we talk way too much about Ghostbusters 2.
Okay.
And let's see what we got going on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this mic around as we're doing this and hopefully not get that in my way. And we're going to get as much as we can for all three of you. For all three of you. All
Yeah.
you get me. And just kind of introduce what are we playing and what do we got going on.
Okay, so we're going to play. This is an acoustic kind of rendition of a song from our latest album, Conspiracy. This is The Day the World Stood Still.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. think of this, repenting for the sins that I've made. Thinking of an afterlife, counting down the days till I die. I haven't made another mistake. Mankind's creation will suffer till it's saved. Can you save me now? Falling in deeper, living one way out. There's no way to run. I'm worrying. This time I'll never heal. I'm worrying. I'm worrying. This world's standing still. The time of my own. When the days merging as one. The time of my own. This time I'll never heal. Wash away the fear that I could see to get out my mind. Every day another fight, I'm in the dark and begging for light. As time goes on, I feel more afraid. Another reminder I cannot change his fate. Everything that I've done and done for us, and I'm suffering and paying for it. Bottom is torment, I can't seem to get away. Everything that I've done and done for us, and I'm suffering and paying for it. Hoping to God in this life there's another way. Can you save me now? Falling in deep, living one way out. There's nowhere to run. I'm worrying. This time I'll never heal. I'm worrying. This world's standing still. Time on my own. When the days merging as one. The time on my own. This time I'll never heal. I'm worrying. This time I'll never heal. I'm worrying. This world's standing still. Time of my own. When the days merging as one. Time of my own. This time I'll never heal.
Holy shit. You know when you listen, oh my God. Okay. You know when you listen to music, and I mean, you guys know as much as anyone, and you get like the goosebumps kind of happening through, like that is exactly what happened to me when I'm hearing the harmonies and the songs and the drum, and I'm just like, Oh my, what? Like, oh my gosh. That was fantastic, man.
Thank you.
Oh,
Sure,
that-
it's not just a bit cold in it.
This is how you start a Monday, man. I mean, God, a little behind the scenes. They got here early. I got here late, and I'm just like, crap, why are they here so early? And now I'm like, oh, no.
The thing is, we were sitting in the coffee shop and we said,
Yeah.
you know what, I bet this never happens. I bet they're always waiting for bands to turn up, and we've turned up here like an hour and a half.
Right. They got here early the one time. I'm like, what the hell is this? Raven Age hanging out in studio today, man. Dude, I don't even know where to start with that. I mean, just the fact that the melding that you guys just have and a good harmony really goes far, and you just nailed it right there, and just the different sounds and the different tone, and it's just like, so man, that was great, man. So time to give that good old-fashioned stereotypical band question. How did you guys get together? How did you guys start out?
So my name's George. I'm one of the guitarists. Me and he's now our manager. He was our original guitar player. Started the band. It was just like kind of met both into metal, both guitar players. Started just jamming together.
Yeah.
Writing some songs. Kind of just snowballed from there. It was never really set out to be like we're gonna go for it as a band. It was just like a thing we did like every Wednesday or something like that. And then yeah, we had a bunch of songs. It was like, hey, you know, it'd be way more fun if we had a group of guys to play with. So found these guys, kind of met online basically, and yeah, it's just kind of all snowballed from there. And we've, you know, here we are in Iowa.
Yeah, yes, it all ends in Iowa, man. It all comes down to here, you know. That's where it does. So, I mean, what kind of different musical influences? I mean, obviously, Iron Maiden being one of them. I mean, that just kind of happens, right? So, going on that end, though, like kind of like the musical influence, like what's some of your favorite bands today that's going on right now?
Well, it was funny, like the original thing you said earlier about that kind of amount, that mix of my kind of classic metal and more modern stuff.
Yeah,
I think that stems from our influences and our different influences. I mean, we all like similar stuff, but you know, like for example, I was brought up on more classic based bands like Zeppelin and Deep Purple, and when singers like Robert Plant, Steve Tyler, that kind of thing. And so that's kind of where my influence comes from. And then you mix that with this kind of modern metal instrumentation. Is that a word?
it is now.
Yeah, it is now. With the guys are into like Parkway and Kill Switch Engage and things like that. And then you kind of get this best of both worlds kind of.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't intentional, but it just. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe it is to some people.
Yeah.
You never know. But for us, that's kind of how it worked, and it's good because I think sometimes a lot of bands try to fit within a certain pocket, and like we want to be like these bands so we can get these kind of shows, and we're not really doing that. We can play with the heavy bands, but we can also play with the more kind of classic based rock bands, and we've done that, you know, and we've gone down really well with both audiences. And I think if you look at bands like Avenged or Five Finger or Disturbed, I think they're all actually kind of doing something not that much different. You know, they kind of cross those boundaries between metal and rock, and I think that's why they appeal to such a wide audience, because they do it that way
and still do those sold out shows because everyone's like, we know what we're gonna get.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that kind of thing.
You know?
So
And
yeah, I feel you, man. Absolutely. How about going down the road, though? I mean, favorite band? And you know what? I loved asking this question, too, because I hate the idea of the whole guilty pleasure type of thing, because I'm like, you know what? If you like it, just fucking like it, dude. You know, who cares? Don't tell me what I have to like. So maybe some guilty pleasure or bands or whatever it may be.
Not only that, I want to publicly display.
Just own it, man. Come on.
Do you know what? I've actually really taken a big liking to Billie Eilish recently.
Really? Yeah, no, I mean, she's been everywhere, dude.
Her voice is really unique. I just really like it. So she's got some really, really cracking tunes. So she's probably a bit of a guilty pleasure for me.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I'm right. I'm more of a guilty pleasure when it comes to late '90s, early 2000s pop. I don't know what it is. Just the moment I hear that, I'm just like, oh yeah, Britney. Turn it up.
Classic.
Sounds like me.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've got all of the guilty
In his
pleasures.
car.
I don't even think they're guilty pleasures to me. Are they? Just your
Bring it out, man. You
your
got
music choice.
They outweigh the metal, I think.
But that's some of like the big things, though. You know, like I mean, like it's right. It's just getting those different kind of thing. Like if you're a metalhead or whatever it may be, like I'm a big metal guy. I'm like, that's all I'm supposed to like. Yeah. Like I can only like metal and that is it. I'm like, dude, I love listening to like Beethoven Symphony. You know, I love going to that. Just like you just have to be in that different mood. Like if you go on my iPod, because I still have an iPod because I still think it's 2001. Everyone's got iPhones at this point except me. You can go through it and all of a sudden you'll see like Parkway Drive, for example. I was jamming that on the way here, but then you're gonna see the Lion King soundtrack. It's like you start breaking out. Hey, Zavenya, like yeah, feeling the circle of life.
Absolutely. That's great.
We had that in the car the other day, didn't we? We were singing along to the soundtrack of Star Wars.
Star Wars.
That's
That's an amazing song.
Are we talking old Stars Born or new Stars Born?
The new
Okay,
one,
all right.
Bradley Cooper.
It's music. Good music transcends, though, doesn't it? It doesn't.
Yeah.
If you're into music and you appreciate good music, it doesn't matter what genre it is. I think.
Right.
Even if sometimes it's bad, it's like I like this and I know I shouldn't like it, but
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I'm told I
Well,
can't.
One of my main guilty pleasures. I love a lot of the cheesy side of the 80s, and growing up
Tommy
on
Two-Tone.
like 80s films as well.
Yeah.
it's just kind of that whole pop culture thing. I'm really into that. So
Yeah.
but
See, I don't even see that as a guilty pleasure. For me, that's the music I was brought up on.
yeah, I know, but to some it is considered that. I don't know why it should be, but
Right.
to some it is.
Because it's like, are we supposed to feel ashamed about what we like? It's like, nah, man, just like own that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever, man. I get crap all the time, like, why are you not playing Call of Duty? I'm like, because I fucking love Animal Crossing, dude. I don't know. I just want to be little furry characters going around getting pears. I don't know. This whole idea of like, especially with the internet nowadays, man, where they're always telling us like, this is how you should be. It's like, whatever. I don't have time. I just want to breathe. I just want to play my weird furry animal game, whatever it may be. So, but still got Raven H hanging out in the studio, man. I cannot wait to hear their second song that they're going to be playing for me. Are you guys ready? You good for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to send goosebumps through my arms again? Is that what's going to possibly happen here?
I don't know. We'll give it a go.
All right. We're making it happen. Raven H hanging out here on Rock 108.
So this next one, this is an acoustic version of a song from Conspiracy album, and this is a kind of, I think we've had this as a single playing quite a bit in the States. This is Fleur de Lis.
Can't you see a sign from God it came to me? Maybe something to believe is all we really need. Have you lost your love? Have we given up? Watch as our homes are burned. As salvation I will return. Take a look around how we've fallen from grace. I am the hand to liberate them. Heresy defeats the outcry king. Our savior, peasant girl, hold tight of her Denise. In the fire she burns with spirit high for all eternity. Lives on a memory. Follow me to reclaim the rightful king. We rise again and fight for him. But God has spoken to me. We must keep hope. This land we walk upon's our home. This kingdom's now a shadow of its past, and I condemn this game for thrones. Take a look around, all they needed was faith. And now our souls have all awakened. Heresy defeats the outcry king. Our savior, peasant girl, hold tight of her Denise. In the fire she burns with spirit high. Our future has us on our knees. So bury all these memories. Fight with me. Time for what is yours to be free again. One last time. Fight with me. Ever since I faced the Upcroft King, now save your peasant girl. Hold tight, I've heard the least. Cause the flashy was with spirit high for all eternity. Lives on a memory.
I don't know if this room can hold that much talent, guys. You gotta calm down. I don't know. It's too much for me. Friggin' Raven Age, man. I hear on Rock 108, and you guys are blowing my mind, man. It's fantastic to hear. It's so cool. And we got to talk about movies. We got to talk about Terminator 2. We got to talk about Billie Eilish and my weird love for Britney Spears. Hey, what are you gonna do?
And Animal Crossing.
And Animal Crossing. Wait, are we a bunch of gamers in here, nerd? Oh, we could have been talking about that the whole time. Oh my god! Like I got a Nintendo controller on my arm, man.
Nice.
Hey, there you go. But we know you got to head on out to the next station here, man. So I will get you out of here. Do you have anything you want to talk to fans real quick about, or anything that's coming up in Raven Age?
Yeah, it's as I said, we've been touring the States for a little bit, doing these radio things, and it's great to kind of connect with the American audience. We're actually doing a few headline shows. I think next week now, isn't it? It's
is
coming
next
Grammy
week,
round, yeah.
next
So we're doing
Saturday.
so we're doing New York. Doing New York, the Mercury Lounge, then we're doing the Viper Room in LA, and then we're ending in the Social Club in Chicago.
Oh, those big ass markets, man, hanging out in all the cities. So when you're in Chicago, by the way, and when you're in New York, you got to try the pizza at both places. Got to try the New York style,
Yeah.
and then you have to try Chicago style, and then you have to decide which one's better. Post it up on Facebook and let everyone explode.
Okay.
That's what they do. That's what you're supposed to do when you go to all these markets. Russ over here, he's hanging out. He's our PD. He lived in the California area for the longest time, and that man, he knows about pizza. Let me tell you, he knows about it. Raven Age, guys, it's such a pleasure having you in. Thank you guys so much, and good luck on and break a leg on the upcoming tour. And can't wait to hear more from you guys.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Bye.